Hi everyone. So today we're doing up an apartment. We're doing apartment 131021 Chic Street. It's the lively one next to Penny Pizzazz, where it's always so noisy. So maybe not the best place to live, but it is a nice size apartment. I really like how small it is, and the big windows are really nice. I love big windows. Whenever I'm looking for a flat in real life, I'm always looking for a flat with nice windows. Small windows? No, thank you. We've got a little living room area, and the sofas are it's all closed in, it's quite cozy. And then the kitchen's kind of the same. That's all closed in and feels quite cozy as well. There's a small space, but I think it all feels spacious and it doesn't feel like you really compromised on anything. So it took me a while to start the kitchen and decide how I wanted the cabinets, but I think in the end having the two cabinets with like the plates and stuff in at the tops look quite good on either end, and having the fridge in the middle. And the fridge kind of inspired me to go for this yellow and blue theme. um, yeah, I think it looked quite well and then that's kind of when I was like, oh, maybe I should do pastel colours for the flat. I went into this not really knowing what I wanted to do. Put in the pink stove top, just adding a little extra colour because I've now got the pink sofas, and then that kind of all combines it in quite nicely together. I was going to have a yellow sink, but I decided instead just to have the steel sink because it blended in nice with the counter, and then I don't think it'd be too in your face. I mean, the whole kitchen's kind of in your face, but you know what I mean. At least the sink looks kind of normal. And I told myself this time I was going to do a different bed. I always use this bed, but I can't. I look at all of the other beds, I'm like, oh, this bed just looks so good. It looks so comfy, it's so cozy, and the colour swatches are really nice, and it just fit in really well with the pastel theme anyway, so had to use it. And the pastel colour and the platform, like foundation colourings, was really nice as well. And then it took me a while to decide what dresser to use. And I ended up using quite a lot from the Dream Home Decorator pack, just because they have like the pinks and the yellows in there as well, and they fit in really well with the rest of the theme. That's the dresser I ended up using. And then I also ended up using the coat, like the ones with the rails in where you can hang your clothes on. I decided to put the shoes kind of under the stairs because I figured if you had some open stairs, you'd probably end up putting your shoes or like a bag or something under there. You just probably wouldn't leave it. So you can still get up the stairs and the shoes can just sit under there nicely. Then I just suddenly remembered, I was like, oh, I didn't put a rubbish bin in the kitchen, can't forget that else. And then I found this really nice little table and I thought it looked really cute in the hallway. And I think it kind of ties everything together and looks really nice. And then I just decided to use the matching kind of smaller side table to the dressing table in the front room. I thought maybe you could buy them as a set and then you could use one in the bedroom and one in the front room. The bathroom didn't end up being a pastel. There wasn't really many kind of pastel colours for the bathroom stuff, or it looked kind of weird and a bit tacky. So I've kind of just gone for a normal bathroom, but I've still used lighter colours and like a lighter wood like I've done in the rest of the house. So I think it ties in quite nicely and it looks nice. I really wanted to have the bath in front of the window. It's probably a bit of an odd... I don't think it's too odd of a choice because you're really high up, there's no other buildings around really, so no one's going to see in, but you get to look out. But then I didn't realise, but then there's not really anything to look at. There's just streets, buildings, cars, so you can have a nice relaxing bath whilst watching the traffic go by, or I don't know, people in the city stumbling around drunk, if it's anything like where I live. It took me a while to think of the wallpapers. I wanted to go with a nice like pinky wallpaper, but because everything else was so colourful, I decided maybe using something a bit more neutral would be best. So that's why I went for the woods, but then the tile on the kitchen just to help it stand out a bit more. And then for the bathroom, I just went with lighter colours as well. But I didn't like the colour of the floor. I didn't like that lighter, like, colour, the darker browny colour. So I think I ended up changing it to green just to add a little bit more colour and make it a little bit more interesting so it doesn't all just look the same. But I tried to add little pops of colour in where I could, so I've added in the like shower gel and shampoo bit that goes on the wall, that's a light pink, and then the toothbrush holder is a light pink, and yeah, just try to add bits in, like you've got the couple of plants and the stand, so hopefully it still looks... I think it still looks okay, so hopefully others do as well. Hopefully people think it still matches. And then of course the dressing gown adds another little pop of pink in there, because I think the person living here would have a pink dressing gown considering they have pink and yellow everything else. I wasn't going to add as many plants in, but they just help make the house so much homelier and easier to decorate, since I struggle a bit with decorating. I was like, oh, I don't know what items to use. I don't want to use too many of the same items, so plants are a really good way to kind of bulk out the decorating, especially with that new plant pack. It's got some really nice plants in it that I want to use for everything. I also struggled with the flooring for the rest of it. At first I thought I was going to kind of everything separately, do the little front room or the lounge area section differently to the hallway bit and the kitchen, but in the end I decided to use the same tile for everything, but then just change the colour of the kitchen one a little bit, so it kind of stood out, but it's the same tile, so it still flows quite nicely. I love this little triple plant stand thing. I like using that. I thought this desk fit really nicely in with the build as well. The colours, like the light wood and the white, and the books as well in the nice pastel colour, and then this nice pastel pink chair as well. I wanted to go like the proper computer chair, but then it didn't fit in as nicely, so I thought, you can have a saw back. It looks nice. I tried to include the little meditation cushion just to get some kind of skill in there, some kind of something to do. I originally wanted to put in an easel, but they're quite big and bulky, and with everything else going on in such a small area, I didn't really like it, but there's still space left over at the end to add one in if anyone wanted to. Or you can add in like an instrument. I think in the end I added in some embroidery hoops, so you can still do embroidery and meditation. Obviously, like there's going to be a computer, so there are some skill building bits you can do. Like I said, I just bulked everything out with plants because they look pretty, and the pots really fit in well. They're always like nice light colours or nice pastel colours, so nice to decorate with. Yeah, I really like using all of the plants from the new pack. I ended up removing one of the base game plants to put it with the new pack plant, just because the pink and the green, I really liked it. I really like the pink in the middle of the plant. So I just potted around, kind of decorating different bits, adding the little llama to the shelf, different plants, and added the Japanese scroll with the sakura because it was nice and pink. And then I used these like paper stars, I think, from Seasons. And I just thought they worked really nicely with the little kind of yellow in there, so it was really cute. I thought adding the rug to the lounge kind of helped separate it off, just like, you've got your little sofa sitting area, and the yellow contrasts nicely with the pink, and then just a little fluffy rug in the hallway bit. Try to decorate the horrible brown door a little bit with a nice wreath. I do end up removing these because I didn't actually like them, but I thought the walls looked a bit bare. I did like having these paper stars and the banners on the wall as well, but I feel like kind of detracted from the other stars and looked a little bit silly, so I took them off and just kept the paper stars hanging up. And then ended up putting some cactuses with sand there. Now, I never end up using these flags that often because I really don't like the hooks in the corner. I wish they were like smaller or less more discreet. I thought the pangender flag looked really cute in here, so I've added that in. Maybe you're same as pangender. Or it just helps anyway with having different representations. It's always nice to see. So I just carried on decorating the rest of the bedroom, adding on some of the nice fairy lights, and then just adding some like towels and bits downstairs to the hallway. Just some kind of general clutter that you'd expect, especially in a smaller place. You'd want some boxes to store all your bits in to kind of keep it out of sight, because you just can't have everywhere really cluttered if you're living in a small space. It makes life very difficult, and you don't want to live in a house that always looks super messy and cramped. If you can. It's not always that easy, but it helps keep a small space tidier. And then I just had to use this teapot as well. I feel like I use this teapot in all of my builds too. It's really cute. I love it so much. It's probably my favourite item from that entire pack. Well, I don't know, maybe the animals would be, but you know what I mean, like household item. And then thought I better have the teas to go along with it. It's just a teapot with no tea. I just put stuff around like on different parts of the counters and different on the floors, just put them wherever until I'm ready to kind of move objects and get them all to where I want them. But I always put teddies on the bed. I kind of wish I'd left the turtle on top of the octopus. I think it looks really cute. But yeah, I did just leave it next to the octopus instead. I feel like even if a sim was like, I absolutely hate teddies, I'd be like, tough, you're having those two teddies on your bed because they look cute. They're small and they fit in nicely. I think I've pretty much gone through and found all of the pastel decoration items that I possibly could. I love the little pastel Grim Reaper. It's so kind of cute, but it's just so unassuming and not threatening. It's like, okay, little Grim Reaper, good job. You're doing your best. Imagine, it comes to collect you and he's just dressed in pink and blue pastels. You'd be like, oh, okay, I'll go with you. That's fine. You look really nice. And I wasn't going to use this lamp. I've been eyeing it up. I wasn't sure I liked it, but I think I actually liked it in the pink with the colour scheme of everything else in the end. I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about that lamp. But then I wanted to add some more lights everywhere else, so I added these little strip lights into the kitchen. I hope they don't look too weird or out of place. I just wanted to make the kitchen bright if you needed to. And added the little shelf lights into the front room. Maybe you could put a little tiny decoration or something on there. But then I didn't want to go overboard with the overhead lights either. I really wanted to use these ones because of they're the same colours, the pinks, the blues and the yellows. But I thought having 3 lights in each section was a little bit overkill. So I went for 2 lights in each section, which is pretty much just as overkill. But it's fine, they look nice. I was able to pick the colours that correlate with each area, so yeah, I think it looks okay. I don't think it looks too bad. I mean, you can probably kind of block out the lights mostly. And then I got really stuck on the shelf for the longest time, on the bookshelf. I think I tried practically every bookshelf that we had. I just hated them all there. I kind of wanted to use the pink and yellow ones from Dream Home Decorator that match the chest of drawers. But then I thought having something just so pink and yellow, like right in the middle of the room, it just was a bit overbearing. I think it looked a little bit silly. So I've gone with plain white and I've just added in some yellow boxes and some pink decorations to try and balance it out a little bit. And I think it looks nice. It doesn't look too in your face, overpowering there. And then I've just gone around and tried to make everything fit. So I added the teas on top of the microwave. I felt that was a good place to put them in. And then I added the tea kettle next to the cooker. I was a bit worried it wouldn't work because Sims is sometimes a little bit temperamental, and if you put something too close to the cooker, well, the hob or anything, they can't use it. So, but luckily they're fine with it there. So we can leave the teapot next to the hob and it's not an issue. So just tidying everything up a little bit now. I nearly forgot about the dresser and nearly left it like that, and I was like, oh no. And I added in the nail file into the makeup tray just to help it feel a little bit more cluttered, because I feel like if you had a whole tray of things, you'd have more than just a couple of items in there. Then I just made a few little tweaks. I swapped the plant around with the incense burner on the 3-tier stand. So now we have a sim just giving a quick demonstration of the areas in the house, kitchen, and then the little computer area. Watching some TV, little cooking show going on. And relaxing in bed before taking a nice relaxing bath, staring. I suppose you can see the hills in the background, so it's not too bad. So that was the pastel apartment. Hope you liked it. Hope you liked all the colours. If you did like it, give me a thumbs up so I know. And if you want to see more kind of tiny houses and smaller apartments, I might try and do a couple bigger ones, but I really like working with smaller ones. If you like that and you want to see more, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.